All right, so welcome to this second session of two, where we work in Eclipse against MySQL. And in the last session, we did the first simple use case, which was to create a user, and basically just giving a success message. We're going to do two use cases today, which the first one we're going to do is the list user case that basically creates or calls a list users servlet, which looks up a user list object, which is some sort of list of users, and then presents a table in a JSP page. And then we'll get back to the update user, which is a bit more of a back and forth use case where we're just gonna first we'll list them, then we'll select the one to update, and we'll actually do the update. But let's look at the first use case. Just before we dive into that, I just want to pick up from the last session. So I think what we did in that was to set up our database connection. And what I've done between these two recordings was just to look over what we did there. And perhaps some of you picked up that one of the mistakes that I did was the driver class name. I didn't capitalize the N, and when I asked ChatGPT for to check my connection string, it fixed this one, and that was one of the reasons that it connected, obviously together with me putting the connector in the both making it as accessible and also putting it in the class path. What I've also done is I've done an index HTML that just will basically be the entry point for our various use cases. So the first one is just calling the create user HTML we did in the last session, and then in these sessions we'll just go straight to the servlet to list the users, and then the HTML that comes back is then generated by the JSP. What I've also done is I've installed a couple of tools just to further evolve the Eclipse environment, and I suggest that you visit the Eclipse Marketplace just to see what's available. And I installed especially the GitHub Copilot, which is, I think it's an initiative made together with Microsoft, might be in there somewhere, and I'm guessing based on the naming of Copilot. So I actually don't know, but that gives some helpful and fairly intelligent code completion that I hope you get an opportunity to see later on. And then I also installed the Eclipse Marketplace client. That will give us a lot of tools, and I installed the Eclipse Enterprise Java Developer tool. But all of this just gives some richness into the editors. So good idea just to explore that as it's evolving. But I think the first use case that we needed to do was the list users, and there we need three things. We need the list user servlet, we need the user list object that contains a list of users. And then we need the create use or the list users output. So let's get cracking on that. And we'll start with, I think we'll start with, I just need to do one thing also that I also did. And I would need to open up the classes here just to show you that, because that's a little bit of an experiment from my side. So what you might experience in the local TomCat environment, at least, and I've seen it a couple of times, is that when when the server restarts itself and it does some listening on what JSPs that are deployed, and if it sees that a JSP is deployed or redeployed, it reloads itself. And in that reload, you would see some warnings in the console from TomCat saying that it would close the container without closing database connections, and obviously in an environment like this, it's probably not an issue, but I don't want that to be an issue in a production environment. So what I did was I did a cleanup listener, I call it, and you might have seen it in Eclipse when you do servlets. You've probably seen this small listener wizard down here. That's basically a listener that will give you a dialog to implement various interfaces in the container environment. And that's basically whenever the container chooses to do a lifecycle event, it fires anything that implements these interfaces. And what I've done is I've created a servlet that's never called from any user, but it runs in the environment. And then whenever we do something with the context, restarts it, for instance, it will check whether the driver manager is closed. So it simply iterates the driver manager, and then it closes down any connections registered to a driver. And in this environment, at least, it's taking away these warnings that I got. So I guess that's a little bit of memory management when it comes to the combination MySQL and TomCat and Eclipse. It might be in other environments. This is not an issue, but I thought I'd implement it and see how it behaves. So that was it. So what we do now is we do first the user list. Class. Which is basically just an object with a list, a customer list of users, exactly as I start to see the intelligence of the tools here. We just want to list them here, and then we can do a I'll tell you what, we're just gonna we're just gonna do a read from database. Oops. Then let's just call it read. I don't think there's no need to do anything like that. Here we go. And then basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna do that exactly as it suggests here. We do a string SQL, and then we can try and this is not exactly what we want to do, but that's a good try. We want a exactly that one. We just import what did I call it? Didn't I call it that? Database connection. What's the problem? Database. Here we go. And then we need to do a statement. Oops. Exactly like this. And then we need a result set. That's exactly what we want to do. What it's suggesting here. What's the problem with this one? Let's see, multiple markers, void, public, read, okay. And so what are we gonna do here? We're gonna set the user ID. Here we go. Now it simply didn't wanna. Set user ID. What is that? Is there a problem with the? Oh, that's what happened. We went back to this one. That's not what we want. The point is, it's not a string. The user ID is an integer, so we need to get int, and we call it ID user. And then we say get int. Let's call it like this. Isn't it? What's the problem here? Get int. What's the name of it? one. And then we need, I guess we need to import, or what is that? What's the problem now? Is it get int returns an integer and the set user? One should think that there is a method for that already. Get. There's no set. Okay. Takes a string. That's so weird. Why would I do that? Was it some sort of code assist that just innovated and did that for me? Then we have then we need to do first name and just want to set first name exactly, and we want to do user.set email. Yes, good. Then we can just delete this, and then we can just we need the last name as well. User.set last name. Good. And then let's just check the database naming. ID user. There we go. First name, last name, and email. Good. I guess that is good. Then we need to close the. Okay, need a catch block as well. Yeah, why not? And then we can. That's fine with this. And then we need to add a throw clause to the method. And perhaps we should do like this instead. Here we go. Good. Excellent. And then I guess we need a getter and a setter for the user. And now we have this one again. That's so weird. I'm not sure what this is about. Generate getter and setter. Here we go. And we get that. Good stuff. All right. Then we have a function that will get a connection to a statement, execute a query, and it will basically select everything in the database. We're not going to do any kind of paging or anything for this version, but let's keep that for now. Then we're going to do the list users, what do we call it? List users servlet. And that we add here, and we put it in com AI&I get test, and then we set list users, and then we are happy with that. And we're basically gonna do what we always do. Next session we'll do a framework that makes us not have to do all of this, but basically what we want is that it takes these things, it throws these things back. Good. And then basically okay. I guess we did not get anything. HTTP servlet request. Good. And then it says it's never called. That's because we're not doing that yet. Good. Then we're a little bit agnostic for how we get down into this one. And what do we want to do here? Well, we basically want to do a user list, and then we want to read, and then we want to, exactly as it's suggested here, want to do this, and then we want to, exactly as it's suggested here-ish, then we forward to list users. Was that the naming we wanted? List users was exactly what we wanted. Good. Why is this? It throws something. Let's surround that. Foot. But let's keep it like this. That means that we will forward to this one with a null. But we can use that to handle the output. Normally we would catch all of this and forward to an error JSP, but for now we'll just do this. So we have the list users, which does a read on a user list, puts it on the request object as user list, and then forwards to list users.jsp. And we can just ask our friendly AI to create a create a JSP that presents a table of users. My servlet code is this. My user list is, we can just throw that in as well, just for giggles, and see how clever the robot is. And while that is thinking, we just needed to make sure it doesn't use tags, but this is fine. This looks okay. Excellent. It takes a user list. And here we go. There is some sort of catch of a none. No users found. Okay. That's fine. So let's do that. No, just fine. We'll put that in our views. And we want to call it list users. Finish, and then we have it here, and then we copy here. And then we say we have a, so we have a if there is an object and there's records in it, we will we'll create a table with 4 columns. First column, get user ID, get user name, get name. And if there is nothing, then it will say no users found. And then it will do a backlink, and we do not need the dots here, I guess, since everything is under WebApp, right? So that's the starting point for the, yes. Good, good, good. All right. Moment of truth here. Let's stop. Let's publish. And let's start again. Good. And then we can run this one. And then we say list users. And what did we do wrong here? It didn't find the list users. I have it there. Views, list users. So what did we do? Oh, I really named it wrongly. How did that? Okay, we can fix that. We can fix that. List users. There we go. What is this coming out here? Is that just that there was no table test DB users does not exist? What the hell? Test DB users. That was a little bit interesting. That's the user list. Okay. Got it. Okay, we called it user. And that's I guess fine. So where's our select out from user? There we go. And then we stop and we publish, and then we run started. Okay, that's good. And then we basically test again. List users. What? Okay, use listed user is null. Where did this happen? Listed users is null. Aha, okay. That's no good. Then let's just, what do we have? So we now initialize this bad boy. But let's do that. Let's do that. There we go. And that's then user. I would guess. No, I don't need this one, by the way. Then we have the import. And stop. And we publish. And we start. And then we try again. And this time we have what? Jesus, it's a lot of. Okay. List users.jsp, there it is. I'm not fine. What's the problem here? We're not up and running. Yes, we are. Stop. Publish. Start. Good. Let's just clear the console here. Here we go. Okay. Let's just first test Christian Jensen. Christian at example. Let's see, let's just test this. Okay, so we can write to our database without problems. And he's in there. Then we want to list our users. We get an explosion here. Know your message. List users. List users. There's a list. Read. How far do we get? Let's just let's just add some very fancy just to show use list users. So just something stupid. Use list users. That's so weird. That is actually weird. Are you sitting and screaming at the screen because you've seen it and I haven't? Views. Are we forwarding with? What syntax are we doing? So use list users. What are we doing in the oh, Jesus Christ. That's it. That is it. Oh well. Let's publish. Let's start. Let's list some users. There we go. All right. So now we have our user list. That's good. We can take it off. We can leave that in. That's fine. Then we want to do the update list users for update. And just to recap, what we wanted to do there is we can just say, what have we done now? We've done these, right? And that's fine. So now we want to do the update user use case, and first we'll call from index HTML, we'll call list users for update. That will retrieve again the list of users, and what we want list users for update to do is then to create a table of users with a little button in it. There's this view as well. So basically, the first thing we want to do is call the list users for update servlet, which then instantiates a user list and reads it, which is then returned back to the list users for update, which is then passed on to the list users for update GSP, and that will then basically present the table of users with an edit button. And then the user can click that edit button with one of the users, and that will basically then call a new servlet we call list user for update, which will retrieve that user and then present it on a JSP page where we have we'll just then do it as a pre-populated input form where there then is a submit button after the user has edited that form. It's then submitted back to an update user servlet, which writes it to the database. So we need to implement the write for the update function, and then it returns it back to the update user servlet, which puts it into the update user, which basically says, okay, this was a success, and this is how the user looks now. So let's get working on that. Let's get working on that. So we need basically need to do much of this again. The first thing is the list users for update servlet. Let's get that in here. New servlet. That's in com AI&I.web test, and it then list users for update. Good. And what that will do is, I mean, it's basically a copy paste of the one we just did, which is list users. So we can, I guess we can copy pretty much everything from that and just edit where we forward it to. It's just source format. Good. So we'll basically read it again. And then we'll say list users for update. And there we'll basically we'll create the same JSP again, but we'll just add a we'll just add a column with the button, so to speak, that then sends the user ID to the update user servlet. Exactly. So let's just test which was the server name was list user for update, right? So we've done this, and then we want to call list users for update. And then after that, we want to call update user. Let's see. What are we doing now? List users for update. Fine. add create a JSP file, list users for update that presents a list of users objects with an additional column which includes a edit user button. When this button is clicked, the user ID will be sent to that's list user for update servlet. Got it. Let's see if it remembers what we just did. Okay. Got it. List user for update. List user for update, that is correct. Okay. And this JSP is then the JSP that we're implementing now is list users for update. List users for update, and we put that in views. We try and see what happens when we use this code. So we get a user and a user list. We pull it from the user list. User list, that sounds good. And then we iterate through. That's good. And then I did this one again. That's fine. List users for update. List users for update. Let's just run through it. So we do user list. We read from database. We put it on the user list. We go to list users for update. Let's try it out. See how bad it is. Good. Then we start it up. Did I forget anything? We'll find out. So we have list users. That's running here. And then we have update users. Oops, here we go. And then that gives us a list again with the button. And when we click that, it should then send us to the one we have to do right now. List user for update, which then in reality just needs to get the user object and show it So we need to do this list user for update. We can just fill this one so we know how far we've come. It's done. So it's list user for update. We can just click this and see if it goes to the right one. Yeah, so list user for update ID 13. So user ID will be on the request. Okay. Then let's do our new servlet. Here we go. And we call it list user for update. Put that in there. And this one. Voila. We can just steal with pride here. To get to post. And then down to this one. To get to post, paste, and then we have, just need to close. That was there we go. So we can list user for update. So what we can do is we can say, we can get the user ID. There we go. And was that user ID with 2 capital ID? Yes, it was. Okay. Good. We have that one. Then I guess we need to convert that to an int. Thank you. And then we don't need a user list. We need to get a user. New user. I don't even know if we did this. This is pretty good suggestion. That's a pretty good suggestion. What I'd rather do though is I'd rather say user there, and then I want to do user dot read like this. And that is then not implemented, and we need to do that. And we can just do this. We'll just do the rest here. We can say request dot set attribute user, and then we can say request get request dispatcher exactly like this, and then it wants I'm just wondering why does it want to do that? That's weird. That is so weird. Okay. Anyway, I guess this should be in a try catch block, but for some reason it's not. That's because we're just throwing it on. I guess. This forward message that throws IO and servlet exception. No, IO servlet exception, and they're both thrown on. Okay. Then we need to do the read method and the user object. And where do we have the user object? We have it here. Then public void read. Like this. Just to, as you remember, as before I said, sometimes the container would reload itself, and this is actually a good example of it. Just did that, and you can see I put a system out in this listener that I put in, and here it actually deregistered the driver. Anyway, we need to do a read method, and I will steal with pride from the user list. Just the try catch part of it. And this. No, I will not. I will do a prepared statement instead. I will do a prepared statement instead. I do not want let's see. Let's ask our friendly AI if they can do it quicker. Implement the read function. It takes the user ID as it takes the user ID as input to the select statement. Let me just put in the code here. Okay, let's see. It gives us the entire read function here. Let me just copy paste and let's see. So it says first name, last name, email from user, where ID user. Let's just check what the fields are. All right. First name, last name, and email. And then it does a prepared statement on that. It sets the user ID, it executes it, say if there is something here, then let's set first name, last name, string. That's fine. That's fine, that's fine. Okay. Then we can go back to this guy here. Why is he? Guess we can let's just be nasty for now and throw it back. So we read and then we do this and then we list user for update. That's fine. And why is this? What's wrong with this now? Oh, okay. Fair enough. Okay, we'll have to. It's not. It's not quite happy with what I just did. So we will surround this instead with a try catch like this. And then we'll just catch if it's null out there. Then we say create the list user for update.jsp when it presents the user data in a pre-populated form that the user can edit. When an update button is pressed, the form will submit updated user information to the servlet. And what did we call this? We called this update user. Update user. My servlet looks like my servlet forwarding to this JSP looks like this. Good. Let's see what comes out of that. Okay, it takes in the user. Okay, it tests for null, that's good. It looks after the attribute user that we have there. And then it says update user. And that was the naming, right? Update user, yes. And then it has a form. Okay, then it has a hidden value of the user ID. That's fine because that should not be editable. And that's user ID. Good. And then we have first name, last name, email. I guess this is fine. Then we just do the list user for update JSP. List user for update, finish, and then I did this already. Do like this. Good. All right. List user updates. Call read on user. Read on user. Oops. Wait a minute. First we set the ID. That's fine. That's an int. And then we set it as user and on user. The read method. First name, last name, email from user or ID user, and then it sets it and executes it, and that is fine. And then it sends on to the list user for update, and that one will submit to update user. Good. Let's try out what we just built. Very good. Update user. Let's just go back here. So update user, first one, click edit user, list user for update. Not found. Okay. Why is that not found? That's because I didn't put it in the view. Why didn't I do that? Because that's supposed to be. Let's try that again. Here we go. Then we can edit Emma Jonsson here. And then when we click, she will be submitted to update user. And I guess that's a post. That's fine. That's fine. Good. All right. Should we ask for a? No, that's fine. I was just wondering if we should have some sort of get back to menu, but I guess you can do that on your own time. All right. So that means that we have implemented this one now. So we basically have a pre-public user form to edit. And now the user edits the field and submit it, and that's then sent to update user. That updates the user object. Good. So we need to do an update function on the user. And we need to do the update user servlet and JSP. Let's start with the servlet update user. Servlet. Let's call it update user. And we say com web test. Now com AI&I dot web test. And we're happy with that. And then we just steal that was basically do get, do post, and most of execute request here. Do get, do post. Oops. Okay. Now we need to get exactly, and we need to make that an int, and then we need to get first name, last name, and we need to get the email also. Good. Then we need to create a user, and we need to set user ID, first name, last name, email, and then we need to exactly update. And there we have a problem because that is not done. Let's just test that these are indeed the parameters that are sent off. Let's just do it like this. First name is not sent off like that. It's sent like this. User ID is sent like that, yes. And then last name is sent like this. And then email is just email. Good. That's fine. User ID, good, good. And then we can do the update function. Should we create update? Yes. Yes. Set first name, last name, email. That's very good. And I guess it wants to help us all the way. And I think that's excellent. Let's see what we got in here. Update user, set. Let's just check that the naming is right here. It probably is, but let's just check that the naming is right. That's this one. First name, last name, email, ID user. There we go. Statement execute update. Okay, if we don't get anything back, we are not happy. But else we are happy. Good. And then we basically need to forward. We put it back on the we're not back, we put it on the request and then we forward to update users. Very good. good, and then we'll just say to friendly robot create the update user.jsp which takes a user object from the request as user. Yes. Presents the information and gives the message that the update was successful. The servlet forwarding is this. Good. Let's see what comes back here. Let's take the user. That's good. And then it basically just creates a table and says we successfully updated user ID, first name, last name, email, and then for some reason it wants to do this all the time. I don't know why, but let's just update user JSP update user.jsp, yes. And it, I need to remember it this time. We need to go into views. Update user. And then we basically take this one and paste it in. Good. And then we can take away this. Very good. All right, let's test this out. Stop. Publish. Start. Good. And then let's just go back home here. So let's test it all. We say Tommy Henriksen, Tommy at example.com. We create Tommy. Good. And then we want to update Tommy. And Tommy is down here. We say edit Tommy. We rather want him to call Henriksson. Update boop. And now there is a Henriksson. We can just do this uses. And he's down here. Very good. I guess that was it for this time. Thank you very much.